All right, now to the big story. That is road construction projects. They're happening all around the metro area. No doubt you've been impacted by one or the other. I go through 494 every day, everything from 694 to I-94 to Highway 55 and beyond. But right now, a focus here that we're going to take is a big one that's going to impact drivers in the West Metro. And for quite a while, we're talking about 394 going in and out of downtown Minneapolis. So joining us now, and we appreciate him for his time, is Tim Nelson, Director of Construction for MnDOT's Metro District. Tim, thank you so much for joining us on your Friday. I know you've got a lot on your plate with everything that we see on the map.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, how do you juggle all of that, first of all? I mean, keeping everything straight, that's a lot of things you're throwing up in the air at once.
Yeah, it's like a giant puzzle. We spend a lot of hours, looking to figure out how we can minimize our disruptions, to the traveling public, and ensure, the safety of, the motorists, pedestrians, bicyclists, and anyone that lives, around the construction zone.
All right. Well, 394 is the hot topic here because that one is about to begin. And it's going to take a while as well. What kind of work? I know there's a lot of bridges that need to be worked, some interchanges or some ramp work. What is being done in totality here?
Yeah, so the biggest part of the work is we're repairing 34 bridges out there. So we do have some redecks out there, repairing a lot of the bridge deck that everyone drives on, repairing the joints that are failing, really just kind of improve the infrastructure that's out there so that we can continue to use it for another 20 to 30 years without having more disruption.
And I noticed too on the list, there's the ramp going into Dunwoody is it realigned? Exactly what's happening there?
Yeah, there's a slight realignment on the bottom just to try to take out some of the curve, to give a little less room for the drivers to go through and a little safer for the pedestrians and the bikes that go through there. Okay.
So this begins Sunday night. What is happening here during the first phase of construction, and how is that going to impact the people that use that road on a daily basis?
Yeah, so we're going to kind of ease into the project a little bit. So for the first 2 weeks, so starting on Monday for 2 weeks, we're going to just have overnight lane closures out there and some shoulder closures. And then starting on Monday, July 28th, the reversible or easy pass lanes on 394 between Highway 100 and 94 will be closed. So nobody will be able to use those from July 28th and through the fall. And so that's about 5,000 vehicles use that on average, and those will have to use the main purpose lanes, during those times that they would normally use the reversible lanes.
Yeah, so what do you tell drivers who use those, what that's going to do to the congestion on the lanes that everybody's now funneled into?
Yeah, so the drivers that usually get to use that, get a little bit free flow through there, and now they just won't be able to free flow. They'll have to go in with the other vehicles that are out there, and it'll add a little bit of disruption and impacts out there. So there'll probably be a few additional minutes of delay out there. 5,000 vehicles, split off over the day is not a tremendous amount. So we think that the lanes on 394 will be able to handle that traffic with just a few extra minutes of delay. And the hope is that it's just not as bad as people want. Next year will be much worse on 394. So like I said, we're kind of easing our way into it, and next year we'll feel more pain.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I mean, so again, we were talking about the immediate impacts in the weeks to come, but this is, as you say, a long-term project. So in what ways is it going to get, worse from the driver's perspective into next year?
Yeah, so next year we have to really work on those main purpose lanes out there. So, there's 3 directions each direction, and we're going to be closing those roadways and pushing that traffic into the reversible lanes. So, really pushing those 3 lanes into the 2 lanes of the reversible and not having reversible for the other direction. So, there's going to be quite a bit of traffic impacts out there, but it is necessary so that we can complete that bridge work safely out there and make it so that it'll last a long time.
All right. And the obvious detour route, of course, is Highway 55, which runs parallel close by. Also has lane closures on it for construction. So what do you tell drivers who would normally funnel there? I mean, the detours, if you want to go, get pretty lengthy.
Yeah, so Highway 55 has a lot of issues out there with the pavement and some of the bridge over there going over the railroad. And so our plan is to correct those issues here this year so that next year when there's more pain out there on 394, that they can use that as a good alternate route.
Yeah, because, obviously there's going to be, I tell you what, you can't win for losing. I mean, it's no matter what you do, MnDOT takes a punch from everybody out there. Where people complaining that, oh, why can't they fix all these roads? And then when you're fixing all the roads at the same time, like, why are they doing this all at the same time? What do you tell people who say, why do you have to do this all at once? I mean, obviously it's a lot to tackle.
It is, yeah. And, we average about, 50 construction projects a year in the metro area. And we have the same amount this year. Some of the projects, really depends on where you're driving. If you're driving on the same roads every time, at some point you're going to hit construction. There's other parts of the metro that don't have any construction. So really you're feeling the impact, depending on where you're driving every day. And, I drive the same roads as everyone else out here. I have to sit in the same traffic as everyone else. I hear it from, my family, neighbors, everyone else that knows that I work for MnDOT, hear the same complaints. So.
Yeah, but there's a lot of work to be done and small windows to do it in, and so sometimes you're forced to have to do all these at once. But as you mentioned, if people say why 394 and 55 at the same time, you're saying that by tackling 55 now will lessen the pain next year when 394 is worse?
Correct, yeah. So with, just closing the easy pass lanes this year, it's 5,000 vehicles, but next year, we're going to be impacting a lot more vehicles with those main purpose lane closures and ramp closures that, there are going to be a lot more people that are going to want to go to Highway 55. And so by fixing it this year, it'll make less issues on 55. And we should have all the work on 55 done here this year so that there'll be no construction on there. Okay.
And, there's always that backup heading east 394 into downtown, right by that Dunwoody exit. That's going to be realigned a little bit. Is any of this work being done going to help ease any of that congestion as you get into downtown, as people are trying to, especially if they're going on to 94?
Yeah, it's a common question that we get all the time because we all know that it's really bad there. Unfortunately, this project does not add any additional capacity out there or fix any of those ramp issues because really the big issue is the Lowry Hill Tunnel. And we just can't get people in there, for what we really need. It really needs to be twice the size that it is. And we just don't have a good fix for the Lowry Hill Tunnel. So until that can be fixed and figured out, then we can't really fix the congestion that's on 394.
Yeah, that would be a tough one. I mean, as you say, to make that tunnel twice as large, that's a major project. And is there the space to do that? Is that even something that's a possibility?
Yeah, it has a lot of challenges just with the right of way, the historic properties, a lot of different issues. So we don't necessarily have a plan for it, and we talk about large projects. I think that would be one of the biggest projects that we've probably ever had tackle that.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, we got to wrap up here, but I got to tell you, as somebody who drives 494 every day, and that construction. It's already better in moving the lanes to the southbound, the newer constructed. It's kind of weird how just little things here and there can change a flow.
Yeah, definitely. We're trying to do everything we can to, hopefully help everyone's commute out there, and so that we can continue to drive on all of our roads and bridges out there without having other impacts.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. And a good reminder to everybody that you drive them too. So you're not immune from what you're doing. All right. Hey, thanks for taking your time on a Friday afternoon, and good luck with this, the rest of this construction season. There's a lot going on.
Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you.